Good morning, everyone. It's Tuesday. I'm Brenda Quintana. I just got back from Mexico this weekend. I was on the incentive trip, the Stampin' Up! Incentive trip that only a small portion of people, demonstrators, get to earn. I probably need to say that on my video because they want us to. They don't want us to make false claims about earning anything because we do work very hard to go on this trip. And it was amazing. Thanks to all my customers and team members who helped me get there. It was amazing. I just love when I can go and have someone else cut up my fruit for me in the morning and make my bed. And the resort was absolutely fabulous. It was just amazing. It was all inclusive. I think there was only one restaurant that wasn't included. And the food was really top caliber. This hotel resort had theme parks attached to it that were included in the price. So like adventure theme parks. So kind of like an adult Disney World where it's kind of more eco-nature oriented, no characters or anything like that. It was amazing. Our son had a great time. And I think as a mom that just makes you have a great time because he was just really enjoying himself and all the amenities of the resort. And I kind of still feel like I'm there, because it was just such a fabulous time. But anyway, back to reality. And at least I get to make cards when I get back. So today's Casing Tuesday. And we have a new catalog. Actually, I should grab the catalog. Here it is. I've got pages marked. I have not placed my new catalog order yet. I wanted to take my time and finish placing my order. I do have a lot of pre-order products though, so I will be using those until I can get the rest of not the whole catalog was available to us for pre-order, but I have quite a bit of stuff from the pre-order that I'm going to be using over the next couple of weeks, and I am going to be ordering more stuff from the catalog so that I can show you neat things to make with it. Hence all the little pages. So this catalog is a little bit different than previous ones. We've got a picture of a gathering on the front. And I think that's one of the things Stampin' Up! Really does well is that there are demonstrators that do gatherings. And I think a lot of our products, like even the things that I make on Fridays, are used in gatherings as favors and stuff. So it's a little bit different of a cover. So when you get your catalog, if you ordered one through me in the mail, it's going to look a little different than it normally does, but it is still a beautiful catalog. And we have fabulous new in colors. So I just want to talk a little bit about the starter kit special that has started. It's all the month of May, but our starter kit is normally $99 and you get $125 worth of product, which is a great deal anytime to get this deal. But we have a starter kit special right now, only in the month of May, that you get an add-on, an in-color package bonus. So let me just tell you what that includes. You're going to get a pack of the cardstock, so that's 20 sheets. You're going to get a pack of the designer series paper, 40 sheets. These are 6x6, the cardstock's 8.5 by 11. You'll get a package of markers, and these are all in the new in colors. So you'll get 5 markers. Plus, you're going to get the ink pads, all 5 of the new in color ink pads. So that is an $82 value on top of the $125 worth of product you get to choose. So you really are getting about $200 worth of product for only $99 plus free shipping. So it is an amazing deal. If you are at all interested in it, here is the link on my blog that will tell you more about it. And then when you have questions, make sure you send them to me. Here's my email address, or you can fill out the contact form on my blog, and I'm always happy to answer questions about the starter kit or anything else as well. But it's such a good deal, and that's why I have to talk about it all this month long, and that's why I'll be doing in color projects all this month long. So today's card is no exception. I'm going to be doing an in color card. So let's first of all, let's take a look at the card that we are going to be copying today. Let me find it. It is right here. Let me move my head over. Now this card does have one in color. I think that's pretty in pink in the background, but that's the card we're going to be copying today. It's a nice, simple layout, and it's actually my card. It was my choice. So I hope you like my choice. And then I'll just show you the sketch that goes with it. It's right here. It's a very simple sketch. But I love the little layers on it. You can build a nice scene. And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to be building a little scene today. So let me show you what my card looks like. And here it is. We are going to be doing a watercolor wash in the background. I don't often do technique cards, but I don't know, for some reason today, I think it was being in the sun in Mexico. On the last day, we saw this most beautiful sunrise. We got up early. I made my family get up early. I'm an avid walker, and it gets very hot in Mexico. So we got up early most days, but not early enough to see the sunrise. The sunrise was about 6:15. So I got everyone out of bed before 6 so we could make it down to the beach in time, and the sunrise was phenomenal. It was just gorgeous. And so I still think I feel like I need to be connected to the sun, and so I thought we'd do a watercolor wash today, which is unusual for me, but it should be a lot of fun. I'm going to show you how I make it maybe a little differently compared to other people, because I don't have an art background. So a lot of the things I do, it's like experimentation, which is totally okay. I mean, it's good to learn from other people, sure, but don't be afraid to experiment. All right. I think that's all I need to tell you. Oh, my host code. I do need to tell you about my host code. All right. My host code this month for the month of May is on the screen right now. And my gift, if you spend at least $50 with me in the month of May, are these little in color dots. So if you are buying in color product, even if you aren't getting the special, if you are buying product, these dots are what my gift are going to be, because they're really beautiful, and they match all the in colors. All right, I'm going to pop these away, and then I'm going to pop over to my other camera. All right, here's my card. I just love, this is so much fun. I'll just explain. I have my glass mat out here, and we don't currently have a glass mat for sale, but we are going to be getting this glass mat back at some point this year as a product that we are selling. This was a promotion. It was actually a starter kit promotion during what is it called? Our special at the beginning of the year. I cannot even think of it. Celebration. There we go. My brain needs to kick back in. It was our celebration special. It was a joint special, but they are going to be bringing it back. It is good to have a surface when you're watercoloring that will not get stained, and glass is a really good thing to help keep your things from getting stained, or maybe use like a page protector or something that will just keep your work surface from getting wet and stained. So let's start off. We're going to be using watercolor paper to make this, and let's start off with a sheet of watercolor paper. Now our watercolor paper, let me grab it here. It's this Fluid 100 watercolor paper, and I just cut it in half. So this is 7 inches by 5 inches. So I made it into a 3.5 inch by 5 inch piece of watercolor. And we're going to be using aqua water painters, and we're going to be using sponge daubers to create this. And our water painters come with 3 different sizes of brushes. I'm going to be using the flat brush, and I'm going to be using the biggest brush. There's also a small brush that has a smaller tip. There's this one as well, which has a smaller tip than this one here. But I'm not doing detail work today, so I just want the bigger brush. So I've got these both barrels are filled with water, and when you're doing watercoloring, it's good to have like a paper towel or something beside you so that you can mop up extra water. And we need to get the water going through the brush, so you need to squeeze and get it a little wet to begin with. Okay, so I've got some water, and what I want to do is I want to cover this entire surface with wet. I want it to be wet, wet, wet. And you know what I've found with watercolor paper? I haven't worked with it a ton, but I find it easier if I wet both sides of the paper, because then the one side kind of sticks down. Some people they also tape their pieces down, but I want to use this watercolor paper right to the edge because I'm cheap. I want to use that whole piece, so I'm actually gonna move it right to the edge. So the wetness on the other side that I have brushed on is actually keeping it nicely stuck down to the surface. Okay, I think this is wet enough. And now we're going to start with Summer Splash at the top. And I've got sponge daubers, and I'm using them one in each color. I'm going to dip this in. I'm going to also sponge off a little bit. I'm going to just run this across. I want to do about a fourth across. Then I'll switch colors, and I'm going to do Petunia Pop. Now, Petunia Pop, out of all the colors I have here, is kind of the most saturated in color. So when I ink it off, I want to take quite a bit of it off so it doesn't overwhelm. Okay. Then I'm going to move to Pretty in Pink. This is probably my least saturated color. Okay. And then we're going to move down to Shy Shamrock. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I think this is Shy Shamrock. And take some Shy Shamrock off too. And we'll do Shy Shamrock to the bottom. Okay. Now we're going to come in with our other brush. Get some water on it. And we're going to start, and we're going to just drag this up all the way to the top and kind of blend the colors together. If there's any colors that are, like if there's any white or anything like that and you want that blended out, you can do that too. So that's it. That's all I really did with my blending. If you want it to be more blended, you can go back over and blend some more. Okay. So the colors blend even more. And then if you like that, you're going to have to just let it sit and dry, because you can't do anything with it. You can't adhere it to a card until this baby has dried. So we're just going to move this over to the side. And I'm going to find a place out of camera range to just let that sit and dry, because we're going to do some more elements of this piece. Okay, so I did some experimenting and stuff, and so I need some pieces, you know, for scrap pieces. So look, the back side of this is still good. So guess what? I'm going to use it. I'm going to take my 1 3/4 inch punch, and I'm going to punch myself out a circle. And you know, this side actually looks kind of pretty, but I need a sunshine. So we're going to create a sunshine. So again, I've got my watercolor brush and I'm going to, this is the flat brush. I'm just going to, oh, I want to, if your thing is not colored on the back, you could also wet the other side. This is smaller though, so it's gonna stay down better. And now I'm gonna bring in my peach pie. Dip the peach pie, and I've got my piece, and then I'm just gonna make a sunshine. I know this is, some art teacher somewhere is going to be, this is wrong, but it's just kind of fun. Look at how pretty that is. That was pretty easy just to do the watercolor on. It's just really easy and fun. Okay, and then I also, okay, this is another experimental piece that I did that didn't work out so well. So guess what? I have a back side and I need to create some swatches of color because I want to create a tree. And so I'm just going to come in and I need a swatch of Shy Shamrock. So, oops, I want to put the water on here and here. Okay, so this is Shy Shamrock. And I need like a swatch of color for this tree to be die cut out of. Okay, so that's my Shy Shamrock. And I'm going to introduce one more color into my setting here because I kind of need a brown. So I'm going to use Crumb Cake. So that's my extra bonus color I'm using. I would have used our new basic beige, but I didn't feel like it was dark enough to be a tree trunk. So instead, okay, so I've got two swatches and I might need to cut this piece down just a teeny tiny bit. I don't think this is going to fit through my die cutting machine, but we can just test this out. Oh, maybe it will. Okay, maybe it will. I've got my mini cut in a boss machine here. And I'm going to take my number 3 plate because my machine's tight. So normally you use number 1 plate, but I'm going to use number 3 plate. Put a cutting plate down. And then I'm going to grab, this is a new product. It's the Loveliest Tree Bundle. And I'm going to grab these two. And we're going to create, I'm going to pop that on there and this on here. And we're going to grab, where's my clear cutting plate, to go on top. I'm going to stand while I die cut this because, oops, hold on, straighten this out. Sure, my paper, I think my paper is right at the max limit. So I'm going to just run this through. And this has a lot of little pieces to it, so I'm going to come back and run it through a second time just to hopefully get through all the way. Okay, this is my tree trunk. And then this one here is my tree. Okay, so I can take these and pop them out of the way. And you'll need something small to pierce all these little pieces out. You can also use like a die brush, but you'll just want to pop all of those out of your thing. Actually, normally watercolor paper is a little thicker and more texturized. So I find this is a little harder to remove the little pieces than regular basic white. But the nice thing with the watercolor paper is that it takes the color just a little bit more. Okay. just get rid of those remaining pieces. Okay, got 2 stubborn ones here. Okay, so let's scoop these up and throw them in the trash. So while these are still a little bit wet, let me grab a scrap piece of paper. I cut myself a little batch of quarter sheet computer paper last night, and I want to have a little bit more color, add a little bit more color. So I'm going to take crumb cake, and this is best to do while the pieces are still a little damp because they grab the color just a little bit better. Okay, and then you're going to take Shy Shamrock and give the tree a little bit more color. You can daub it on too, and you can get it all over your fingers like me, and then you can have a green thumb like me. All right. Okay, so these pieces, these ones aren't too wet, so you could probably use those. The sunshine's still a teeny tiny bit damp. So I did the easy button last night, and I actually cut up, and I did these pieces last night too, so I could let them dry, so they'd be totally dry, because adhesive doesn't usually work very well if your piece is wet. So I just wanted everything to really dry, so that I could make sure everything would stick. So let's take a look. I cut a little piece of Shy Shamrock cardstock. This is 3.5 inches by 1/2 inch. And I'm going to use the Congratulations from this Loveliest tree. And we'll take Shy Shamrock again. And I wanted to, for this piece, I really wanted to create kind of a banner going across this piece. So I'm just gonna, okay, add Congratulations going across, and I think, let's grab a piece of scrap paper. I want to pretend it's going all the way across, so I'm just gonna add Congratulations, the front part, and then the back part over here a bit, so that it looks like it's kind of running across like that. Okay, and I think that's all the stamping I'm doing. Whoa, I'm losing the ink pads here. Okay, so this is the green right here, and this is the blue. So I want the green down near the bottom. And I've also cut a piece of that in color paper. So remember this paper, one of the patterns is stripes. This is the 2024-2026 in color paper. And I'm just gonna take a tiny bit of glue and just add it to the bottom of my piece. This piece measures 3.5 inches by 3/4 inch. The measurements are on my blog in case you need them for all the pieces that I'm adding to this card. Let's see. Let me hold this up and see if it's straight. Okay. All right, so I want to adhere this. So we just have a teeny tiny bit of the Shy Shamrock showing down here at the bottom. So we'll grab this. Okay. And sometimes, like when I cut pieces, you'll end up with just a tiny bit of overhang because, you know, are we really always cutting pieces exactly? So if you have any overhang, you can just see I have a teeny tiny bit. Just flip it over and just cut it off right along the edge right there. Okay. And then I'm going to take my tree and I'll just put a little bit of glue right here at the top part of the tree where the branches are. And sometimes I would actually glue this behind the green part, but I actually want to glue this here so I can see more of the branches to the tree. I kind of like that look better with this particular die cut. Okay. And then I can add this over onto the side. And just put it right against that greeting layer. Isn't that pretty? And then we're going to add the sunshine. I don't know, I think the sun is setting, so I want it down here. Does that make more sense? Or the sun is rising? I don't know. I don't know if it's rising or setting, but it's got to be in this kind of the pinkish area. So I'm gluing this down and just kind of finding a spot for it. All right, so that is the basis of the watercolor wash. Then we're going to take Petunia Pop cardstock, and I've cut a base. This is 11 inches by 4 1/4, and I scored it in half at the 5.5 inch mark. And I will grab this and smooth it down. And then we're just going to glue this onto here. You should be so proud of me for doing a technique. I don't do techniques very often, but I thought this one was a fun one, especially with the sponge daubers, because it really makes it a lot easier to drag that color across. It's very, very easy. So if you wanted to make sure everything kind of stayed flat, you could put this under like a heavy book or something heavy for a little bit. The watercolor paper does not like to stay completely 100% flat, so you'll always have like a tiny little bit of a wave through it, but I think it also makes it kind of special. So then just to finish it off and make it look good, I'm going to grab this isn't baker's twine, it is linen thread bow that I tied earlier, and linen thread just looks like this on a spool. It's a great natural fiber that you can put on so many different projects because it's thin and it's natural, so it usually doesn't detract from your project. It just enhances it. And I'm just going to add that right there. Okay, and then I'm going to take some of these we have two types of in color embellishments. These are the shimmer gems. So these are a little bit different than my gift, but they're all beautiful. And then we'll just take some of these little dots and add them onto the project, just to give it just a little bit of shimmer when it's picked up, so it doesn't look quite so flat. And there we go. There is the card. And it does, well, maybe it doesn't totally remind me of Mexico, but just a little bit, because I just felt like I needed sunshine. And here is my other card. So each of these cards will look really different depending on how much saturation you get, and you'll just be able to play around. Now the piece that I didn't use from today, it's drying, it's still drying over here. It's gonna need probably about half an hour to dry. So it's a card that will take a little bit longer, but look at the beautiful colors in this one, right? All of them will be beautiful, and they'll have different colors just depending on how you blend them, and so just have fun with it. And you can use different colors too, but these new in colors, are summer colors. They're just beautiful, wonderful summer colors. And I think you'll really enjoy playing with them. And, if you want to get those in colors for free, the starter kit is the best deal going right now, because you can choose some product, you can get that in color package in with your starter kit, and free shipping. So it's an awesome deal. Anyway, I'm back to say hello to all of you this morning. I hope you had a good week last week. So I'll say hello and let me know if you have any questions. What did you think of the watercolor technique? Do you like techniques, or do you not like techniques? I throw one in every once in a while, but it's not normally the thing that I do. So sometimes it's fun to get my hands they got a little inky. Got a little ink on them, but it came off pretty easily. All right. Good morning, Janine. Good morning, Birgit. Good morning, Mary. And good morning, Deborah and Ellie and Maya and Pat. And there's another Mary here too. And then there's a Mary Kay. Good morning, Nancy and Ellie. She says, "Oh my, the beach at sunrise sounds heavenly." It was. It was beautiful. I can't describe it. I think if I lived there all the time, I don't know if it would be as special. But to go someplace like that and just have a week of just ease and sunshine and just the beauty of it all, the animals, all the tropical animals. We got to see the parrots and the monkeys and the little agoutis, and just it was great, just fabulous. Okay, I could go on and on and on. I wish everyone could have such a fun experience. Good morning, Karen. Good morning, Marty, and thank you for the welcome back. Good morning, Marge. Marge said, "Good morning, Brenda. Just so you know, this watercolor video is now working on my end." Oh, great. Awesome. Marty said, "If you're in a hurry, you could also dry the pieces with your heat gun." Oh, yeah, that's a great idea. Yeah, I was thinking about that last night, and then I totally forgot about it. So in my time when I was experimenting, by the time I got done, I didn't need to wait, and I could assemble my card right away. But yeah, I don't know. I haven't experimented to see if heat gun drying in this instance makes the paper warp more or less, or I don't know. So I didn't give that a try, but that's always a good idea, having a heat gun. And I know actually some watercolor artists do use that. So yeah, pretty good idea. Mary said, "Pretty card. We'll try for sure." Good. Birgit says, "Oh, she loves my card and my watercolor technique." Great. Oh, I'm glad. Janine said, "Nice job. I love the card." Mary Kay says, "Fun technique and awesome tips. Thanks." Marty says, "It's beautiful. The trunk on top of the leaves looks great." It looked better than the other way around. So when I like something, that's what I go with. Karen says, "Pretty cards." Lori said, "I'm glad you had a nice break in Mexico." Yeah, it was fabulous. I think, my son coming off of exams and us coming off a very hectic little while, running around, being up in Canada and everything. It was just really good. So it was a really, really nice family vacation. We all had a fabulous time. All right. Marty said, "Techniques are fun. Your cards and 3D projects are awesome, though." Aw, thank you. Julianne said, "Welcome back, Brenda. Pretty watercolor card. Thank you for the pre-recorded tutorials while you were on your well-deserved trip." Oh, you're welcome, Julianne. I'm glad that you enjoyed the tutorials. And I hope you all saw my little peppermint patty purses. They were just so cute. So lots of in-color projects. And I have not decided what I'm doing this Friday yet. So I'll have to dream up something in the next 2 days for Friday. But my focus is going to be on the in-colors this month, because they are so wonderful and I want you to have them. So I thought it would be fun to just, make this be the focus of the month. And so I'll have to find something fun to do with all of those beautiful ink colors. And they really feel like summer, so it's the perfect time of year to break them out. Nancy asked, did I get to Tulum? No, we didn't get to Tulum. So we were there really for 5 nights only. It was a short trip, but the resort was like totally high end. My husband and son did get to go to Chichen Itza. Chichen Itza is a little bit more, is more in the hierarchy of Mexican archaeological sites. It has a little bit more archaeological, it has more buildings and stuff. So my husband really wanted my son to see that. And I had seen Chichen Itza on our honeymoon 30 years ago. So I didn't feel like it was super important. Plus it was like a 3-hour drive there and a 3-hour drive back. And they also did the cenote swim. So that was really nice. But I decided to stay back and just have a pool day. That was like, it was our first, it was Wednesday. And so it was just nice that day. I just really needed a day just to like really de-stress. And I spent it, I had lunch with the different demonstrators and dinner with different demonstrators. And it was just so relaxing just to be by the pool, just to hang out and chat and just like have like a no stress day. And I hate to say this because I love my family and the rest of the time I spent with my family, but to have a non-family day was just such a treasure too, just because we all go at the same time. And over the years, like I've earned a lot of trips, and over the years, you kind of consider a lot of these demonstrators your friends, and it's just really such a joy just to spend time with them on vacation in the sun, and we shared little tips and things like that. It was just a great day. So no, I didn't get to Tulum, and neither did my family, but I think we would have had to be there for 2 weeks to really do most everything. I just don't think it was possible even within a week because there was just so much to do. Xcaret was the name of the hotel. And the parks there, they have different adventure parks. They have the Xcaret Park. They have the Explore Park. They have the Census Park. They have Zelha, which is like a snorkeling park. They have a cenotes park. They have Savage, which is another park. They have so many different parks, and they're all included, right? So we did 3. My family did 3 of the parks. I did 2. They did an extra park because I can't go all day long. We went morning and afternoon to the Explorer Park. No, it was Xcaret Park. And I was done at 3, but they wanted more. So I said, good, go for it. I'm going back to the hotel and I'm going to chill until dinner. And that was perfect. So there just wasn't enough time to do like all the things, but it was good. Like everything we did. And I don't think I heard of anyone that didn't have a good time there because there was something there for every single person. So it was phenomenal. And I think the Stampin' Up! Booked this trip before I think the hotel was even finished being built. So, but now the rates for that resort are just crazy. Never would want to pay that much on my own for that resort. But oh, wow. Phenomenal. If you ever get a chance to go, I recommend it. Yeah, let's see. So Marty said, those purses are so cute. They are. I'm self-promoting here, but they are, and I'm sharing them with everyone so everyone can make them, right? Mary says she loves the new ink colors and she has them. Good. March said, I sent an email to you with my York Patty purses. So easy, and I love the project. Oh, Marge, I hope I didn't miss your email. I'll have to go back and check and make sure I answered your email. Marty said, And the guys had a father-son day. Yes, they did. They did. They've been hanging out. When Nicholas was little, they usually took Saturdays as the father-son day of the week, and they went out and did something. So they're very used to hanging out with each other, and I love that. I totally promote that. I think it's just wonderful. My son and I, we had some mother-son days. My husband, right before this trip, he had to go to Europe for a few days on a business trip, and Nicholas was here already. So I had a few days just with him, and that was wonderful too. So we all had time with him. And now Nicholas is off on another adventure. He's flew back to Canada, and he and his girlfriend are driving across Canada again because she has a co-op term in Calgary. And so he's helping her drive the car out. So they're driving there over the next few days. So Nicholas will be back next week for a little bit, and then he's gone again. He accepted a job offer up in Canada while we were at the resort. He was like, mulling over job offers, negotiating them, and so he accepted a job offer, and he starts in June. So we are not going to have him at home for very long, but I'm going to enjoy having him at home at least for a little bit coming up. So now I've told you my life story. It is there was still a lot going on, but I'm so grateful. I'm grateful my son has a job. I'm grateful that I'm going to see him again a little bit before he starts, and it's just all the good things. So I'm very happy right now. Okay, let's keep going. Mary said she just made 20 York peppermint purses. Awesome! That's great. They're a lot of fun to make. They're not a hard project, so they were a perfect project to share on Friday in a short video. Marty said, that's wonderful. Yay, Nick. Yeah, we're so proud of him. He was trying to negotiate a different job offer, but because of certain circumstances that were totally beyond his control, totally not actually even involving him, he had to not pursue that job offer anymore because it was just taking too long, and we weren't even sure if it would come to fruition. So he ended up accepting. He negotiated for a higher salary in Canada for this job, and he was able to get a higher salary, and so he accepted the job offer in Canada, and we are so very proud of him. Mary says, good for Nick. Yeah, it's so good. We're so proud of him. He worked so hard on his engineering degree, and we're so happy that he found a job so quickly, and he'll be able to start next month. Marge says, congrats, Nick. And Janine said she made 8 of the peppermint patty purses for one of her card groups. I am so glad. There's probably a lot of people that don't tell me that they've made my peppermint patty purses, so maybe they're all across America and Canada. That's what my hope is. I love it when I hear my projects are being used by a ton of other people. That makes me so happy because my time now is magnified, and you make these things for other people and you're spreading the joy. So my little contribution is like a little seed that's planted, and you are the plants that are growing out there, and you're spreading more joy and happiness through these little projects. Because I'm sure when they see the little purse, they're going to think, oh, so cute. And it will just put a smile on someone's face. And a smile is, yeah, it's amazing. All right, everyone, I've talked too long. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you will join me again on Friday. Have a great week, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.